Today I'm going to be talking about metallurgy. Almost everything you see has metal in it, and a lot more people work with metal than they realize and could be considered metallurgists, according to my metallurgy teacher. And today I'm going to be talking about different types of metal found throughout the years, the value they had over the years, and how different processes can massively affect the types of metal you get. So the first type of metal ever found was meteoric metal, and it was very easy to find because it's on top of everything. It's just on the ground laying there. The second found was copper, and then gold. And meteoric metal was used fairly often with early tools and everything, but it was pretty brittle compared to copper. Copper was more malleable and better use for a tool because you could sharpen it and it doesn't just break in half. And then gold was used for jewelry and to show your wealth. Another thing that was interesting about the gold and everything was it's not that in early times it wasn't the most valuable metal that there is. It was tin, aluminum. Aluminum was the most valuable metal. It was more valuable than gold early on. It was gone as far as to make crowns for royalty or expensive jewelry and so forth. And I thought that was very interesting because, you know, we use that for a lot of stuff. We put on our food and make plates out of it and have hubcaps and whatever. And it was a lot harder to get early on because you had to superheat the ore in order to extract the aluminum. And now it's very easy to superheat stuff. And back then they just had the open air furnace, and now we have our coils and whatever. And it's also a lot easier to find ore now because, you know, you don't have to just dig into a rock until you find something. You can scan stuff and you can use fracking and whatever. Going off of that, with the technology that we have now, it's a lot easier to see the differences, the slight differences that we make during the baking process of metal has massive effects on the type of metal you get out of it. So for instance, if you want a cast iron skillet versus an I-beam, which is a structural steel that you use in construction sites all the time, is just the only difference is the amount of oxygen that is allowed to enter the furnace while you're baking the metal. And that could either make it extremely strong but very brittle, like cast iron. If you drop it, it has a chance of just snapping in half, versus an I-beam, it's going to have a lot more, it's going to be able to take a lot more weight and bend until it snaps and reaches its breaking point. In conclusion, I think that metallurgy is very interesting and it has a lot of value to a lot of people, not just metallurgists like welders or people who actually have metallurgy as their degree who go in and specifically look at that. It can help you if you're looking at your car, or if you're frequently using a drill. That was one example used was if you have a job where you can constantly have a drill, it might be nice to understand why you shouldn't keep drilling into metal when your drill bit's getting red hot, because it's going to lose all of its properties and become more brittle and less strong and not be able to do as well. So, yes. Thank you for listening. That was so hard.
Yeah, let's go.